Should Jack Wilshere be Luton Town manager next season? So how's it going, guys, and welcome back to another video today on this Made in Luton channel. Today's video is going to be a debate / discussion video where I'm going to discuss whether or not I believe Jack Wilshere is fit enough to be Luton Town's manager going into next season in League One. I've got a lot of points to go over today, so I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. I didn't expect the last one to be as long as it was, and I didn't expect the reaction I got from that video, so I just wanted to quickly say thank you to all you guys for showing so much support in the last video. It did really well in my eyes, and it's good to get you guys all back on the channel watching and subscribing as well. So to begin this video, I'm going to quickly discuss what has obviously happened recently and just basically a general overview of last season. So to begin with, obviously we did end up finishing 7th in League One and end up being 1 point short of the playoffs, but we did win the Virtue Trophy, so that's one achievement we did have last season, and that was a very special day. I was obviously there that day and I absolutely loved it. It was so good to not just win a trophy but to have like a nice day out of Wembley. Reminded me of the Coventry playoff final, and it was just a really good day out of my family, and I'm grateful to Jack Wilshere for getting us that win that day and doing everything he needed to do. But when it comes down to the most important thing, which is the league, he has actually helped Luton. So since Matt Bloomfield's departure in October, Luton were 18th and we only had 16 points in 11 games when Bloomfield had left the club, and since Jack Wilshere has come in, he obviously has improved us. We were 11th and we finished 7th, so that is an improvement. And in a short space of time where he only had January window and then the rest of the second half of the season, he did turn us around in my opinion, so I can confidently say that. But when it came to the January signings, I would personally say it was very 50-50. Obviously we didn't sign that many players. From the top of my head, we got Sandal, Vandenberg, Palmer and Lawrence into the club. Half of those signings ended up being quite good, with obviously Palmer being absolutely brilliant for us and also Lawrence coming quite good as well. On the other hand, Sandal barely played for us and he only really featured towards the end of the season, and Vandenberg was probably one of the worst midfielders I've seen for Luton in a very, very long time. And Jack Wilshere even went out of his way to say that he could see something in him and that he wanted to sign him, but after recent discussions, fans are now aware that Vandenberg will not be returned to Luton, which is a relief for us fans anyway. So when it came to business, I feel like Wilshere could have done more. The main areas we really needed to improve in the window were obviously the fullbacks and the defensive sort of situation, and he didn't really address that, so that was one downside for me. And also the fact that he does have ties to the Arsenal Academy as well as Norwich, where he coached there, and we didn't really get any players from there, and that was a bit worrying for me, especially the Arsenal side, because he was an influential part of not just the club in regards to playing for them, but also he was part of that setup as well. And when it comes to being decisive as a manager, I sometimes think Wilshere, because he's younger and he has less experience, he has lack in certain areas. For example, when it comes to making substitutions and being very decisive, he does struggle with that. For example, the past couple of games I've been to and watched Luton, he has just struggled to quickly make decisions and bring on subs when we need them on. So for example, I don't know, say if Luton were drawing 1-1, he would sometimes take so long to the point where the opposite team who are drawing with us or even losing to us would make 3 or 5 substitutions before he even decides to make one, and that's very frustrating as a fan, because I want to see Shader Morris and Kodjue get brought on the pitch, or Saville or Al Hamidi when we had him, to get brought on the pitch to make an impact. And sometimes it's annoying when a manager just doesn't act quick, if that makes sense. And I think when you go back to previous managers, not as much Bloomfield and Edwards, but Nathan Jones was always really good at it. He always got his substitutions right, and if he got them wrong, he'd go into the interview afterwards and he'd say otherwise. Obviously his right man is Chris Powell, and I do want to bring up that briefly as well. The fact he has made a massive impact this season in my opinion. Chris Powell coming in, his experience, his passion, his clear coaching skills have come into play with Luton, and I loved seeing him every single time we won go out to the fans and go way, like that passion is what we need at the club, and Chris Powell has definitely been good, and in my opinion at times probably been better behind closed doors than Wilshere has at times with these players. One thing I would like to say though with Jack Wilshere, which I think he has done really well with, is the younger players, i.e. Joe Johnson coming into the team towards the end of the season, and most importantly Jake Richards. Jake Richards has openly said how I think growing up he was very influenced by Wilshere as a midfielder, because obviously they're the same sort of player position wise, and I do think he's made an impact with Richards to the point where he's really boosted his confidence, as well as Emilio Lawrence as well. And I think him bringing Lawrence in, if we can keep him, will be a good one for the future, because Lawrence at the start has barely played any professional football. I think he played no professional football at all before he came to Luton, and I still remember watching his debut and he looked so nervous and he looked so shy. But as soon as Jack Wilshere got him playing and got him into the team, he showed so much skill and enthusiasm, and that is the kind of manager I want to see. I want to see us bring these young players out and just build them up and let them sort of show what they can do on the pitch, like Richards has and like obviously Lawrence has, as I've said. Now, I know people will probably disagree with some of the stuff I've said in this video so far, and also the board's expectations of Wilshere will be different to mine, but what I don't want us to do is have this sort of cotton bubble thing around Wilshere where we just kind of see him in this light and we're like, oh my god, he's a former Luton Town graduate, you know, from the academy, he's gone on to play for Arsenal, he's a younger manager, he's got us to where we are so far. I don't want any of that. I'm a very negative at times Luton fan and very passionate Luton fan, and next season we need to do much better than we have just finished. And I know Jack Wilshere wasn't there for the entire season, so he can't be fully held accountable, but if we are not in the playoffs next season minimum, and if we're not going for that title, I will not be happy, and I don't think most of you guys will be either. So in my opinion, my expectation next year is if by the end of this year, i.e. Christmas time, if we are not at least 7th or below in the league, or you know, 7th to 1st is what I'm trying to say, I'm not going to be happy with Jack Wilshere, and I will be potentially on the side of whether or not we keep him realistically. Now, I know it's a very bold thing to say, and I know he did win us a trophy this year, but I want to get out of League One so bad. I miss Championship football. I miss that league at times, well, not obviously more than the Premier League, but it's such an entertaining league, and I don't want us to be like another Sunderland and be stuck in League One for years upon years. I just want us to get out of this division. So if it comes down to the fact that Luton aren't doing well enough in the league and our performances drop, then that decision will be key, whether or not Jack Wilshere will have to stay or have to go. And the last little point I'd like to make is obviously we've got the summer transfer window coming up, and that is going to be very interesting and very telling for us Luton fans. So if Jack Wilshere can sign the correct players and bring in the players that we need, for me right now, I'm going to do a separate video on what I would do with the team with regard to signings, but we need fullbacks so bad. Like, we can't keep doing this same old thing where we're putting Naismith to left back. I know we can play there, but more on the right hand side. Like, we loaned out Real Waters, who's the only person that can actually play right back, like a natural right back, and then we've been playing Izzy Jones right back, Longwyke out of position at right back. We need to just get these positions locked in, get the players in the correct positions, and then go from there. And then the main other priority will be getting a striker. From what I know, Al Hamadi has actually left the club now, so we need to bring in someone else, because I do love Nahki Wells and I think he's done really well for us, but we need someone that's a proven goal scorer, like a Harry Leonard from Peterborough, for example. That's just one name I'm going to quickly drop in there before I do my next video about that sort of stuff. But yeah, we need to definitely get these signings right and potentially get some Arsenal Academy graduates in there as well. Why not? So guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. Obviously, this has just been a kind of a debate video, discussion video, just to kind of say my thoughts and opinions about Jack Wilshere and just kind of put it all into one. I'm not saying I don't like Jack Wilshere. I think he's done really, really well so far, and I think he's got a lot of potential. But when it comes to next season, that is my expectations. As I've said in this video, we need to be in the playoffs or be fighting for promotion. If we're not, then that's when we've got to start looking into other options. But I do hope he does it for us, and I'm rooting for him. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think about Jack Wilshere, your personal thoughts and opinions, whether or not you disagree with me or agree with me. Let me know down below. Thank you so much for the recent support on my arrival back onto Made in Luton and on this channel on YouTube. It's been much appreciated, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Peace.